your clans are ready to fight.
Hi guys, I don't know what's going on. How's everyone doing? I don't know if anyone's screen's only just started, so it's unlikely that anyone's watching. But we're going to be playing a little bit of Total War Arena. Or that's the plan at least. We're going to log into a battle, see how we get on. So we're swapping into a session. Let's see what we get battle-wise. So, Thermopylae. And we're top tier, which is not bad. We seem to get rather poor matchmaking as a general rule with this, so it's pretty good to have something a little bit better for a change. So, where am I going to spawn in? I'll probably take a look at this top road potentially, see what we can see going on down there. Hopefully this stream is working properly, and if anyone is watching, let me know in the comments. It's always interesting to see if anyone is. So we've got some friendly Roman cavalry, so I'm probably going to follow these up if these are going to push up the hill. See what's going on around here.
Cut to their base or cut them down.
I've been playing Roman cavalry for the past week or so, so it's a little bit weird going back to barbarian cavalry. Nice to have the speed back, but a little bit confusing compared to the Romans, which are a lot slower. And of course, all the hotkeys for things like the charge are now all in a different place, just to make life a little bit more complicated for me. If the Romans are going around that way, we'll push up the little hill bit, see what we can see. If we end up getting lots of enemy infantry or something, obviously I shall look to pull back, but if it's just one other cavalry unit or something like that, we could possibly make a move.
The enemy draws first
Okay,
blood.
phalanx men, I shall assist the Romans. No, stay with the fight. Oh, they're pulling out. Okay, they've given up the fight. Okay, they're not getting involved in this. If they're going to go for it, I will join in, but I'm not going to be the one to actually deal with them. Not as the barbarians. Okay, ready for the charge. Activate the charge. Good amount of rear flank damage there. Activate the frenzy. Try and break these guys. These are the ones we want to break. Come on, break. Broken. Right. Get them as they rout. Try and get some good damage in. Can't see anything. Any other threats nearby. Try and rack up a bit more damage. Okay, that's good. Then we've got another unit here to deal with. We are taking some damage, but we are going to eliminate 3 units of enemy, which is just well worth doing. Tier 6 phalanxmen are going to break, routing. We're getting a good amount of points for this as well, particularly on the aggression damage. If anyone's watching the stream, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And they're routing now as well. Try and rack up a little bit of damage on them. Hopefully we should get frenzy back in a second as well. 7 seconds. Keep applying pressure. 1 unit left. We're about 3/4 health on all units. And they're gone. Excellent. So, I'm going to push down the hill now. See what else we can see to attack and kill. Those phalanxmen didn't really stand much of a chance. A little bit of an unfair fight for them. When two cavalry work together like that, pretty hard because they can't face off against both directions. The charge to the rear was just so devastating. So it looks like there's quite a fight going on in this forest down here. So I will be inclined to say I'm going to see what I can do with these guys. Although they are perhaps aware of my presence and are looking to avoid a bit of a fight. So I've gone into infiltration mode. So let's go and have a look what we've got in terms of... Oh, there's 3 units of enemy full tier swords just sat there. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything about them, to be honest. So I think we'll look to pull back from that lot. There is some tier 7 javelin men here, sort of sat in the open. These could be an interesting target. We are in infiltration mode, although if they've got any sense, they will know what I look like. What we don't want is the Centurions to charge them, because I want to get the charge off. They've not realised activate the charge. I pressed the wrong button, but I just managed to realise what it was. Activated Frenzy a little early there. So the Centurions engaged the back of the Romans. That should give us reasonable options on these javelin men. That's the word. So routing them. Rear flank them. Okay, they're pulling back. I don't want to run through the entire sort of crop of Romans there, really. It was a fairly decent move. I think we pretty much wiped out all those javelin men, basically. We'll wait perhaps for our charge to rebuild, and then we'll perhaps come back and have a pop at the back of those tier 7 Roman Centurions. Could be a good move to try and break them. So I think that could be a really good move. We'll push out slightly, and then we'll turn in. Activate the charge. Activate the frenzy. Right flank. Hopefully these Centurions are going to break. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. There we go. Right, some of them are routing. Let's try and get them as they rout. We are starting to run out of units and health now, but you know the enemy are also struggling to not rout, so try and rack up a good bit of damage. We're doing certainly well on the aggression points. We're leading that. Problem is, there's still a long way to go on this game, unfortunately. Let's finish off those Centurions. Okay, so what have we got left? We're down to about 1/3 health on our remaining units. The enemy artillery is moving, but they've got a unit of armoured legionaries with them. Those Equites have just entered Oath of Perseverance, so that gives them a charge deflect bonus and a massive morale bonus, so they probably can't really be routed. But we could still do a reasonable amount of damage in a rearward charge, potentially. But I don't want to deal with that unit of phalanxmen there, particularly. So let's keep moving round. If anyone's watching the stream, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you. They are just about to charge into some pikes for some reason.
Our base is under attack. We must stop them.
They're just going to run into the spikes. Oh no, they're attacking the spikes. Clever. Okay, a little bit hard to know what to do here. The Spartan hoplites are trying to drive them off. I'm just going to sort of lurk near the back if they make any move away like that. I'll probably have a pop at you here. Charge. Stop the charge. Activate frenzy. They're all on the floor. Get up. And kill them as they stand up. Got to get away before these phalanxmen, 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 phalanxmen. Run away. Just left them with a couple of warriors. Nothing left for them. We are currently being capped, so I'm going to have to make a move back towards base. It is nice to have the extreme speed back of the barbarians. They are very fast. Yeah, there's no choice. I'm going to have to just aggress these people here, whether they like it or not. We might be able to get a charge in on the back of them, though. No, we're not, because we haven't got any... These people have an opportunity to help, and now they're very slowly walking in. We've got to decap. Do they not realise that we're going to lose if we don't decap? To try and get away before they... really realise. I've got a charge to keep if it comes to it. We'll see if these tier 6 foot infantry can get sort of a bit more involved and make a bit of an impact that way. Well, we'll go for these people if they're not going to... Charging. We sort of knocked them all down, did a bit of damage. Let's get back out. Reactivate momentum, make sure we get a good bit of speed. Still got too long to that charge, and we are going to have to base cap soon, so we're going to have to... there we go, he did a good job there. They're keen to avoid getting involved in a fight, and I kind of like my charge to redo, and I don't want to charge into a phalanx if I can avoid it. I'm sort of just going to loiter around a little bit for the moment, see how we get on. We've got... they've been really... I think we're going to have to make a move here. So they've broken phalanx, I think. So we've got 7 seconds to the charges back. So we'll just hang on, and we're going to go in with a good charge. Now, straight into the back of these Romans. We'll recharge, activating the charge. Stop the charge, don't overshoot. Activate frenzy. See what damage we can get. See if we can try and rout one of them. We've got a bit of damage in the charge. And we've got friendly legionaries at the front, so you think it might be enough to get them broken, but perhaps not. I'm not going to activate anything like blood payment. I don't want to sacrifice the health even for the slight increase in damage. It doesn't really seem worth it to me as a move. I'm not a fan. It looks good. At least we've secured the base for now. There's still some enemy equites over there that are going to be relatively hard to deal with. I'm taking some casualties. These are going to break. There we go. They've gone. Try and just surround these guys. Get them to break as well. Okay, right. Let's pull back. So these equites are going for an engagement. They're probably going to oath themselves, I would have thought. Make this their final fight. War cry has been activated. Let's go in for the charge to the rear. Activate the charge. Don't want to overdo it. And we'll go for the frenzy. And there goes that oath of perseverance. Now it makes it hard to know what to do. I'm just going to finish off my frenzy, and then I shall probably be looking to get out of this fight. They're now stuck in this fight, whether they like it or not. They've committed to an oath. And while they are engaged with the... while they're engaged with the people, they can't walk very quickly, although they're getting out of the fight if they're not careful. So what else have we got to deal with? It's not very good. I've not got many units left, and there's quite a few enemies still in base. A couple of legionaries left there, and these equites. And there's quite a few of, what are these, barbarians. Kind of makes it hard to know what to do other than just harass them. Those equites are loitering around the top. We have got our charge back, which we can use. But without these committing to sort of a fight, I'll probably have a go at these phalanxmen if these come out of the gates. Yeah, let's have a go at these guys. I don't want to charge here though, because left flank, I just want them to rout. There we go. Okay. Defend your fire, it's my own fault. No, without these guys engaging, I think I'm best just leaving them to be harassed by the archers for now. I could go and have a look at the enemy artillery. Oof. Javelins, javelins. Wow. Javelins are painful. Let's go and have a look at the enemy artillery then. Where are these shots coming from? Can anyone see where the enemy artillery is? Problem is my units are so damaged now, their view range is hugely reduced. So I don't really know where their artillery is. Ah, there's some rocks coming out over this direction. Let's go and have a look over this way, see what we can see. If anyone's watching the stream, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if anyone's watching or if I'm just talking to myself. I guess I'm just going to suddenly come across these artillery and probably the... Okay, so they're up here, I think. Probably going to be the Roman legions are going to be here as well, I'm going to suggest. Yes, okay, that was a exceedingly bad idea, I think, as plans go. Oh my, the Arminius is dead now as well. Let's keep pushing down. So these units have engaged the legions. Let's see, we're better off trying to assist here. I can't take on these heavy artillery when they've just got that unit of legionaries there as well. Not with like 7 people or something left, which is all I have. It's not going to make much difference. We've still got a bit of time before... Oh, avoid the equites. We are higher tier than them, but they are being Roman. They are outfighters in like in a close-up fight. Are these guys in phalanx? Is the other question. I'll perhaps just go in and see if I can get like a left flank manoeuvre on them or something like that. There we go. I did. So really, I think all there is to engage the equites. We'll charge. They're going to charge me. Oh, well, there we go. That's the end of that game. We got a little bit of damage in just at the end. We gave a good fight in that game, I think, but it wasn't enough to turn the tide. So, let's have a... Oh, we got kill 500 soldiers. Exterminator award. Which is always a good thing. What else have we got? Oh, a good amount of experience there. I'm pretty pleased with that. We're top player, 4,500 aggression points. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of ratting, particularly on things like those phalanx men at the start of the game. Still quite a way to go till the next tier though. So let's hop straight back into another game and continue our grind to the tier 8s. I'm just going to lower the blind on my window because I can't see anything with the glare on my screen, so 1 second. Well, that's marginally better. I can at least slightly see what's going on, even if not entirely. So, we're loading into Hadrian's Wall by the looks of it. So, let's see how we get on in this battle. So, Hadrian's Wall, I'm on... What are we? We're pretty much top tier again. So I'm probably going to look spawning over here, see if we can push a bit further up to the north, something like that. If anyone's watching the stream, let me know in the comments below. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We've got lots of Total War content coming out at the moment. Really enjoying this game. So we're going to activate momentum, immediately start pushing to the north, seeing what we can see. I just love the speed of these barbarian cavalry. You know, pretty much as soon as we hit momentum and we get going, almost straight up to 10 meters a second. And when they really get up to speed, particularly on things like roads and stuff, you can get even faster. So we've got some equites, but we have some friendly equites as well. If they're going to be baited into a fight, I will take this fight. If it's only the equites here. Come on, no, don't abandon me now. Activate. Frenzy is the word. They have oathed, so that's going to make things a little bit harder. But there's now a few of us. We've got two equites units here. We are going to take some casualties because even though we're higher tier, the Roman cavalry are very good. So they're now trying to get out of this fight, which is fine by me. I'm pretty sure they oathed, so they're never going to be able to get out of this fight. So what they're even thinking, I don't know. Go on, break! Yeah, one of them is routed. Now they've oathed. Try and break these ones as they rack up a little bit of damage. Okay, we broke one of them. I'm hoping they're not going to completely abandon me, but are going to turn around and come back in. I don't know why they're trying to get out of the fight quite like that. Seems a strange thing to do. Can you not come back in, please? I'll reactivate Frenzy. Come on, that's it. Come back round and recharge. That would be most helpful. Where are you going? Come on, please charge. Okay, Wrath of Mars. Come on. I'll just walk into the back of them. It will do. Dear me. Well, not the most helpful teammate ever, but I guess at least he is now helping and he's in the back of them. It should at least reduce the number of casualties I'm taking. I want to try and beat all these units and still have sort of 3/4 health remaining. That would be good. We've got some Centurions moving up. There's obviously some archers around here, some proven archers there. Last unit of equites. About to rout, and there they go, they're broken. So, there we go. Things went fairly well there. We'll reactivate momentum. So, the enemy have got a few bits of heavy infantry. Their archers are legging it, and they're going to make it back to cover, so I don't think there's going to be anything I can do there to assist in that fight. So we had a pretty solid start to the game. We killed all the entire units of equites, tier 6 cavalry. There's a bit of a fight going on down here. A mounted warband versus some archers. So let's see if we can lend some assistance here. We don't even have to kill them if we can just drive them off. That will be good. We'll come in from this side. I could go around the back. Let's see what we can do to assist. We'll activate Frenzy. We've got a right flank on them. Hopefully we can lower their morale a little bit. Maybe get them to break. That would be great. We're easily out damaging them, and our archers seem to have got out safely. So that's good. There's a few little... there we go. And they've smashed the unit. So let's just reform over here. We'll reactivate momentum. Let's try and get back out. And now our archers are assisting friendly support against the enemy spearmen. So let's see if we can go and get some moves on the back of these spearmen using our speed to get around the back quickly. Their spearmen are being pushed back by the Centurions. It's not a fight. I think the Centurions are going to lose, so I don't think it's anything I need to worry about too much. But I think we could still assist. I'm not going to activate any charge, because charging into them I just end up in front of the enemy spearmen, and that doesn't do anyone any help. Right, so we're now taking too many shots from enemy artillery, I think, and quite a few friendly archer fire as well. So let's have a look what they've got. Wow, they've got that positioned right up, wedged onto the wall there. Oh, wow, did not see them. Okay, I fell quite badly for that one. We'll activate Frenzy. We just got pushed into the flank by some enemy blood riders. Bit of a poor move on my part in the sense I did not notice they were there. That was just poor observational skills. Hopefully these friendly centurions will now come and assist. And we can maybe even get a charge off if we can like form up and activate a charge now. To get a few into the flank of them, which we have. So we'll now continue the fight. It's a bit of a risk in the sense that now they probably still outnumber us in terms of numbers, but we did get a good charge into them, so we might have done a little bit of damage there. I also think friendly base capture. Okay, we need to get out of this fight. Break off the fight, break off the fight, break off the fight, and we need to make for base. Activate momentum, and then we've got to go flat out to try and get to base. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Depends what enemy units we've got in their base. I just got hit by a massive artillery strike. I don't think I'm going to get back in time. If they're around the back of the building or anything like that, I won't make it. No, well played by the enemy there. They definitely managed to outplay us. Outplay me anyway. No, not quite there in time, unfortunately. Well, we gave it a fair fight. If anyone's watching the stream, let me know in the comments. Always interested to see if anyone's actually watching this. Just got to wait for it to do its thing. I've noticed this sometimes, that when you come out of battle, it then shows as you're still in battle, even though the battle has, been shown to be over. You just have to sort of wait a little bit. Maybe swap commanders. He's clearly not still in battle because we've just finished the battle. There we go. So let's have a little look how we did. A bit of free experience. A good amount of unit experience. A reasonable amount of aggression, but not much support, and obviously not a lot of defence points. We've got one defence point. Still got quite a long way to go till the Nilfheim Riders, which are more sword cavalry, which is nice. It's the sort of units we like. Let's have a look. I've got a bit of free experience, so I can probably upgrade our minions' abilities a little bit more. So we can have more impact damage with momentum, which is probably well worth having actually. And so that takes me to what, 14 impact damage, yeah. Because I almost always have momentum continually active, so it's well worth having that sort of buff.
The clans stand under one banner. Mine.
So let's hop back into the battle and see how we do. So we've got a session. Let's see what map we end up on. So Thermopylae, not too bad a map. Can be a little bit corridory sometimes, but better than Hadrian's Wall, which is the last map which I'm not a massive fan of. So it looks like the stream health's looking pretty good. We've not really dropped very many frames or anything, so hopefully it should be looking relatively clear to you guys as you watch it. Well, if anyone's watching it, that is, I suppose. So Thermopylae, I'm going to almost take my spot. I'll go at number 1. Again, we've got pretty good matchmaking. Again, been pretty much top tier. I'm inclined to push up and over the hill, which is where I normally like to go. Sort of see what I encounter With the speed of the barbarians, it kind of gives you a bit of options if you want to sort of bug back out and get away again. So that's why I'm kind of normally inclined to use them.
Capture their base or cut them down.
So, to activate momentum, get our speed straight up and get moving. So we're going to push straight up this hill, see what we can see. Looks like we've got some friendly phalanxmen, which is probably a good thing. We don't know what the enemy's got. You know, if I encounter something like Legion Cavalry or, you know, tier 7 Roman infantry or even tier 6 Roman infantry, I shall be pulling straight back out again. I don't want it to get into sort of a too big a fight where I may not win, or even if I win I'm going to lose all my units in the process.
We have drawn first blood.
So let's get up the hill and see what we can see over here as we look down. Nothing appears to be the answer. So where the phalanxmen got to over there. I mean, there's no guarantee you don't always get units coming this way, although you do normally expect to see something. Okay, that's good. Proven warriors. I'd rather the phalanxmen engage them, but they're both cowards. Okay, well I'll go for the engagement, and then I'm probably just going to have to hope that the phalanxmen are going to catch me up. We'll activate Frenzy. There's quite a few of them there. They're doing quite a bit of damage. Wow, we've routed. Why have we routed already? I was not expecting to rout quite so quickly. Oh, enemy cavalry. Activate momentum. What are they? Oh, Gunganir charges. Brilliant. We'll try and... I'm going to have to try and tactfully get away a little bit from these guys. And get in to here. The phalanxmen, well, one of them units have routed. These guys are going to push into the rear of me, I know, which is not so good. So the fight begins. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid, really. Like a really big drawn out fight to the death sort of thing, which is what it sort of turned into. We will beat the Gunganir charges without too much problem, but I'm just taking so many casualties in the process. I'm going to break off, try and get out with what I can. Half my units aren't responding at all though. All of you come out, not just... Oh, I've got one of them selected, for fuck's sake. Right, these phalanxmen are going to follow me by the looks of it. But the friendly got a good charge. Just pull off while the men's morale recovers. Return to the fight at least. These guys are going to run like that. I'll get a charge in them. They're obviously having some morale issues. Looks like our phalanxmen are going to win that fight at least. I don't know whether there's a couple of Gunganir charges have broken off too. Typically these people are gaining morale now, whereas before they were losing it. I'd like to be able to sort of break them a little bit more. Well, I think we're probably doing more damage to them than they are. Well, no, they're probably doing more damage to me than I am to them. But still, our phalanxmen are going to break these other proven phalanxmen shortly, and we'll be through. I don't think it was worth it. We've lost far more tier 7 units than we've done any damage to. It was a pretty poor play on my part. Some dogs coming over the hill. And our Minius is now dead. Damn it. Yeah, very poorly played on my part there. I shouldn't have got involved in such a deep fight. We've won it, but, you know, we've lost the bulk of my units now. So it was not worth it. But there we go, it's done now. We'll reactivate momentum and push back down the hill. Make sure we've got everyone selected. So what have we got ahead of us? So we've got some friendly slingers emerging from the forest. There's a bit of a fight going on in the forest down here we could possibly help with. There's a unit of phalanx there, but the other phalanx aren't engaging, so I don't want to get involved in that. So these... Well, it's pretty much a lost fight, isn't it, down there? We could possibly get involved... Well, we'll have these Stray slingers, if they're just going to stay there. Conscious of friendly. Right, let's push around, and into the back of these Romans. Activate frenzy. I'm surprised those legionaries with a rear flank haven't broken. I really thought they would have done. I think it's time to yet again run away, which is seeming to be a common thing that we seem to be doing at the moment. Reactivate momentum if we can. It's a pretty close fight this is. So Slinger's laying a little bit of support in there. Kind of hard to know what to do now. I've got so few units, I'm kind of limited in what support I can lend. Do some enemy heavy artillery up here, but I think they've got a legionary unit supporting them. They have, and they're throwing pretty javelins at me as well. There's absolutely nothing I can do about them. Friendly dogs pushing in from the backs, which may change the battle a little bit. Then there's an enemy phalanx there, but obviously I cannot get involved in that, and some friendly equites who may be able to do a bit more than I am. If anyone's watching this stream, let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to see if anyone's actually watching this, or if I'm just talking to myself. If these phalanx actually weren't... I could be confident they weren't going to turn around, but I just think it's bait. I think if I go here... Unless they really aren't paying attention, but that'd just be madness. No, we'll have a go. Okay, and now they turn around. Let's break off again. Well, we did. That was a pretty good trade-off. We did 3,000 damage for 700. That's not too bad. And particularly against a higher strength unit. If these guys are actually going to stand and fight, then I would plough into the back of them, but in the current situation I can't really. Oh, let's go and see if we can lend a hand to these centurions down here, maybe. Some proven phalanxmen. It's whether those centurions can hold the ground without collapsing. Morale-wise is going to be the problem. I've not got a charge remaining, and I'm a long way off from having a charge, so we'll just have to do what we can. Rear flank them and use frenzy. See if we can get a bit of damage up. They've gone for iron discipline, so they don't rout. Centurions are trying to sort of hold their own a bit. Problem is now I'm just facing off against some phalanxmen, and they're doing quite a lot of damage to me. I'm going to pull back. There's the possibility now pulling back. Oh, they've routed. Why did they rout? The morale is not serving me very well at the moment. I'm just going to come straight back round, and this time we're going to have a charge. Charging. I'm not sure that really did a great deal more damage. But we might get a little bit more out of it. See what we can do damage-wise. I'm very surprised these people haven't routed it. There we go. So it looks like we're slowly turning this fight back into our favour. Let's reactivate momentum. Obviously always need to try and have momentum activated on these cavalry. It gives you a real bonus, because it also gives you the charge bonus, not just the movement speed, and you get a negative ground terrain bonus as well, so when you run over mud and things like that, it doesn't actually affect you so much. So this enemy artillery is all still in play, which is kind of surprising really, but I think they've still got their legionary unit basically stood by it, defending it, which obviously makes it very hard for me to do anything about it. Oops, what have I activated? Did not mean to activate frenzy there. So let's push it up a little bit more, see what we can see. There's an enemy phalanx there. Problem is we just lack, without an engagement going on, it's going to be very hard to actually make a sort of an improved move against the enemy. The enemy artillery are taking quite a bit of damage from our slingers, which is nice. These guys are going to rout without really thinking about it. I could go for a charge. No, they've have thought about my decision. I'm not going to make that gap. These dogs could engage the enemy phalanx, although it's going to be hard to get a flanking hit on there. No one really wants to be the one to make any sort of committed decision. Right, these guys are now in the clear. There we go. They've completely gone. Oh, we'll activate Frenzy, just get the last little bit of damage. And then we'll push over, see what we can do on, see if we can get a little bit of damage on the Principes as they probably are about to rout. There we go. So let's have a look what we've got remaining.
We honor you with this victory.
Momentum is still activated. So we're going to win. It's just a case of can I actually get any sort of more damage in with just the few units I have remaining. We'll come into the back of these. These legionaries get a bit of a right flank on them. Probably taking far more damage than we need to do this. I think it's me versus the legionaries on their own, which is not quite what I intended. Also getting hit by a few stones from the friendly slingers, I think. I don't think there's really a lot really I'm going to be able to do. There's just these few people remaining. Best bet will be to try and get round the back and see if we can just charge into the back of these pikes. Although now I'm facing the wrong way. Brilliant. Oh, there we go. We got a little bit of damage in. We'll activate a frenzy. Not a lot of damage, and with their shield bash, and I think I'm largely facing the wrong way. I think the game for us is over, but there's only 20 of them left, so we'll stay in the fight till the bitter end. I've got one horseman remaining. Oh, we get a little bit of damage on them, so we can't complain. 199 health left. Oh, one man survived. It's always nice. So let's see how we did in the stat screen. If anyone's watching the stream, let me know in the comments. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already. So a good amount of free XP. And plenty of normal experience, which is great. Plenty of silver. It's well worthwhile having consumables on all your units. You make far more silver than you can possibly need, like 1.5 million. It's like almost an unlimited supply. There's really no need, no reason to not use the silver that you get given. Let's just have a quick look at Arminius. We should have enough to upgrade something else. Probably give him the slight upgrade to a charge bonus, so he gets a little bit more impact damage when using momentum. He's got 2 more, the 4%, so that will take him up to 20% charge or impact damage when using momentum. So let's hop straight into another game.
The clans stand under one banner. Mine.
See what else we can do. See, the games today don't seem to be coming up pretty quickly, so there's obviously a fair few people online, which is good. Perhaps not that surprising, given it's sort of almost Christmas now, so I guess most people perhaps are finishing work today. So, where are we? Thermopylae. Yes, it seems to be a bit of a common map at the moment. See how we get on for matchmaking. I know normally the tier 7s tend to be fairly troublesome on the matchmaking. They tend to get put into quite high tier games and then tend to struggle to actually be able to do anything about it. But hopefully today we'll and we seem to be having fairly good matches so far. Which is pretty awesome. See if that's continuing. Seems to be taking us a while to load in for some reason. Okay. Took us a while to load in, but we're not the last person, we're still waiting for someone else anyway. So yes, again, pretty fair matchmaking. We're basically top tier yet again. Basically tier 6s and a few other tier 7s. So I shan't complain about that. I'll probably look again, despite the fact it always seems to go quite badly wrong. I will have a look again about pushing up this far road, see what we can see. I just want to try not to get into such a sort of a deep fight as I did last time. Try and play it a bit more carefully. What have we got? We've got some... Well, he's got a very strange combination. 2 cavalry and a javelins. Why on earth would you take that? Anyway, so these proven phalanxmen are heading up the hill as well, which is fine. They're going through the forest. Oh, there's many, so invariably they're going to use infiltration. A lot of phalanx men seem to use Arminius as their commander rather than Vercingetorix. I'm not particularly sure. I know Arminius is fine as an infantry commander. You know, things like the aggression, the momentum, and the infiltration are all usable skills. I just find it a little bit odd that people tend to prefer him, particularly for phalanxmen. Infantry often seem to use Vercingetorix, but phalanxmen not so. So I don't see any enemy units initially. Oh, we've lost our momentum buff. I was stopped for too long. Momentum, once you're stationary for any extended period of time, you lose the bonus. So there are some enemy phalanxmen, but they're not prepared to engage our friendlies. I mean, I'm not going to charge them again on my own, I don't think. I don't know why they're so keen to avoid a fight if they're going to come all the way up here. I don't really want to get into a fight. To fight a group of phalanxmen, really. I'd be more inclined to try and get these velites as they rout, actually. Nope, they're going. Okay. Okay, so these guys are engaging. If they're going to engage, I will help. I'm just not fighting them on my own. Okay, so they've committed to that fight. Let's come in then. Activate the charge. Nice wide charge flank there. Activate frenzy. And let's rear flank them. Let's see if we can get these guys to rat. If we can get some serious damage for the starting game, which is what we want. Routing, routing, routing. Lovely. Wish the tags would stop floating all over the place. Let's try and get some damage on the people as they rout. Jar, lovely, lovely damage. We'll try and left flank these people as well. Oh, and some friendly hoplites turning up as well, just to make it all that little bit better for them. But there we go, they've got right flank, so that should break them, which it has done. Routed and dead. And then there's just a few people remaining, and they're going to rout in just a second. So we did all that with not too many losses. And that's just a bit of free damage. Excellent, reactivate momentum, let's get out of the fight. I'd start to push down the hill into the town. That's what I was looking to happen. You know, for the friendly infantry to take the fight, the initial hit, and to then charge in. If I just charge in against 3 units of phalanxmen on my own as barbarian cavalry, even being a tier higher, you know, these guys are good, but they won't hold their own for very long. I'll take a lot more casualties. Just wait for the infantry to catch up. So it just doesn't seem worthwhile. So let's see what we can find of the enemies. So these enemy archers have got to be around somewhere, I would have thought. Most archers I would have thought would have been inclined to hide in a forest, but no, they're over there. Let's have a look through this forest and nonetheless see what we can find. We'll activate infiltration. So we're now it should be disguised as enemy colours. We've got some cavalry there, they're equites, yes they are. And there's some cavalry there, what are they? Oh, companion cavalry, you don't see them very often. Okay, it's interesting. The companion cavalry we can catch. So if they're... It's the Equites who are my problem. The Equites have committed to a fight against legionaries. Do I go for these or do I go for the archers? The $1,000,000 question. No, we'll go for the slingers. That's the better option. Activate the charge, activate the charge, activate the charge. We're going to take the hit from some companion cavalry, I know. But, you know, there we go. Try and break to soften the blow. We are quicker than them, so we should be able to get out eventually. If we can get far enough away, I'll turn on the companion cavalry because we can outfight them in terms of hand-to-hand. Because there's suddenly a lot of enemy units in on base. See what else we can do. Trying to get sort of reformed back into a bit of a cohesive unit. I've sort of been split up a little bit. Oh, we're going to capture the enemy base anyway, so it's pretty much game over straight away. Oh well, we gave a fair fight there. That'll probably be the last battle for today. I don't think we're getting particularly any large number of people watching. I think we gave a fair fight there. Yep, that went well. Good amount of free experience. Pretty pleased with how that panned out. So I think that'll do for today's stream. I hope you enjoyed these videos, if anyone did watch it. If you're watching this after the stream, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's lots of Total War Arena content coming, particularly to start to get really to some of the really high tier gameplay. I want to try and get these barbarian cavalry up to tier 10 before long. So thanks for watching guys, and I shall see you on the next episode.